Hi, I'm Darren Walker. Tonight on Inside Louisiana Athletics, Billy Napier revisits football's primetime matchup with Arkansas State, brought to you by Sonic. Later, volleyball's Heather Mercedes-Fontenot and soccer's Lance Key sit down to recap recent road trips to Georgia, and Dr. Tanisha Mallory and Olympian Hollis Conway discuss diversity and inclusion for student athletes. But first, Dan McDonald and Mike Murphy recap the 2019 basketball Fan Jam. You're watching Inside Louisiana Athletics.
Fan Jam provided a great opportunity for the Ragin Cajun men's and women's basketball teams to get things going and get started for the 2019-20 season. Hello again, everyone. I'm Dan McDonald, along with Director of Basketball Operations, Michael Murphy. And Mike, first of all, what about Skylar Goodwin, the junior from the Ragin Cajun women's squad, winning the three-point competition and really putting on a show?
She really did, and the women's basketball team owns bragging rights against the men. Trust me, we're in the cafeteria of the student union. The men's team is going to hear about it. But what a great event tonight was. Really want to thank the marketing people for putting this on. And it's a great kickoff, or tip-off, as I should say, to the 2019-2020 basketball season.
It was a good opportunity to have some fun. Both of the teams having a lot of fun here tonight. But things are going to get very serious for both of these two teams very quickly. The men open up November 5th versus Loyola. They'll play 3 of their first 4 at home. The women's squad also plays 3 of their first 4 at home. They actually have an exhibition game before the end of the month, October 28th.
They do it for the men. That one road game is against TCU in Fort Worth. They also have to go to Wyoming, and they'll go to Las Vegas the week of Thanksgiving to play in the tournament. So the season is here, the competition is here, and we're excited to get started.
Tickets are on sale for Ragin Cajun basketball. RaginCajuns.com/tickets or call 265-2170 and get in on all the action for Ragin Cajun basketball 2019-20.
Next on Inside Louisiana Athletics, Billy Napier revisits football's primetime matchup with Arkansas State, brought to you by Sonic.
This junior garlic butter burger is so juicy. The butter really brings out the flavor.
Well said, Peter.
You're kind of buttering me up. What did you do?
You're just a really good friend.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Grab a $2.99 junior garlic butter bacon burger with tots before they're gone.
If you're happy and you know it's Zydeco. If you're happy and you know it's Zydeco. If you're happy and you know it, then your feet will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it's Zydeco. If you're happy and you know it, mange. If you're happy and you know it, mange. If you're happy and you know it, nothing God will help you show it. If you're happy and you know it, mange.
Welcome back to Inside Louisiana Athletics. The UL Ragin Cajun football team picks up win number 5, a 37-20 win over Arkansas State in Jonesboro. And here now to recap the night is head coach Billy Napier. Coach, the first thing you talked about with the team in the locker room after the game was about home wins in this series, how the road team doesn't win a lot of games in this series. And then given the history of the two clubs, just talk about what you talked to them about how important it was to get that W.
Well, conversations with Jay Walker throughout the week, you start really digging into the history of this rivalry. The team that plays on the road has really struggled in the past. So we didn't necessarily have a lot of those conversations prior to the game, but I wanted our team to know that after the game. It was a big deal to go to this place and win on the road. Certainly in the Western Division, puts us in position where we can kind of prepare for a big November here ahead of us.
Yep. Let's get to the game now. A really strange start to this one with the kick returner for Arkansas State calling a fair catch, but then he knelt it at the 5. But it really didn't seem to faze them because they go 95 yards on their first drive. And I think everybody was kind of like, oh boy, here we go.
Well, me included. I think certainly you can see this is a very talented team. Arkansas State's got tremendous athletes, certainly a very capable team. We seemed to settle in after this first possession and played well for the most part all day. So I'm not exactly sure what it was. We had a couple third downs where we had opportunities to get off the field and didn't quite execute as well as we need to. Had an undisciplined penalty. So a lot of it has to do with us, and certainly that was the message with the team.
Yeah, you kind of took the words out of my mouth because I was about to say how next couple of possessions the defense did settle in to force some punts, and then the offense gets a spark. Levi Lewis hits Jamarcus Bradley on a 31-yard completion on third down. Great catch there, and that set up Trey Regis to go in untouched to tie things up at 7.
Yeah, really big third down conversion there. Certainly, in a situation where we got a one-on-one matchup, great back shoulder throw. Good job playing it under control by Jamarcus and making a terrific catch.
Arkansas State does answer with a field goal to make it 10-7, but you come right back to put a touchdown drive together. Elijah Mitchell from 11 yards out, and he wasn't touched until he got to about the 3-yard line, and it kind of reminded me of that old Vince Lombardi clip where he talks about, a seal here and a seal here. The offensive line and tight ends were opening up some huge holes.
Yeah, I thought the left side in particular played really well throughout the game. Osiris Torrance, as a true freshman, probably played his best game of the year, and he had a critical block right there on that play in particular.
Next drive, just one play, speedy Raymond Calais takes it 80 yards to put the Ragin Cajuns up 21-10. Again, more great blocking from the guys up front, another huge hole to run through. And when you watch this one on film, you can see the safety. He realizes that Raymond has the ball, and he thinks he has an angle, but the speed of Raymond he had no angle, and he ran right by him and takes it for the distance.
Yeah, there's a great block by Bam Jackson on that play. Gets his hands inside, really strains the finish. They rolled into cloud support there. He did a good job recognizing that block in the corner and really just enough to get Raymond to the second level. And Ray did the work from there. Yeah, congratulations to Raymond. By the way, he was named the Sunbelt Offensive Player of the Week. You quickly get the ball back with 2:35 left in the half, and for the 5th week in a row, it seems like we say this every week, you drive down and put some points on the board. Stevie gets you a field goal. Yeah, big sequence in the game. For our defense to go out, we go 3 and out, used our 2 timeouts that we had left there. Force the punt, get the ball back, and then, methodically moved it down the field. I thought it was some great awareness by Levi in that drive in particular. Had a chance maybe to throw it into the end zone. Tough, kind of bang-bang catch for Jamarcus, but great for Stevie there to hit a field goal and create some confidence and momentum. And we had just that. We had momentum going into halftime. Yeah, 24-10 at the half. Mostly quiet third quarter, but the Red Wolves do kick a field goal to make it 24-13. Heading into the 4th, and then things tighten up even further as Arkansas State scores a touchdown to make it 24-20. But like so many times this year, the offense had an answer, a 12-play, 54-yard drive. Elijah gets in with his second score of the day. Yeah, a couple big third downs in that possession as well. Great conversions by Levi. Able to hit Khalif Gossett, hit Jamarcus Bradley a number of times there. So Levi playing his best at critical moments. And we moved it right down there, scored a touchdown to make it 2 scores again. Yeah, less than 5 minutes left in the game, 4th and 1 for the Red Wolves, and you get to stop. Chauncey Manak really penetrated and got into the backfield to make that stop. A lot of good production from the defensive line. Benny Higgins with a couple of sacks, Chauncey with some TFLs, Joe Dillon with the sack, Zion Hill 7 tackles and a half sack. Those guys played well. Yeah, we challenged those guys all week. We were going to have to play split safety. Try to double some of these elite receivers that they have. and we limited the receivers. We kept them from beating us, and it was because the front guys played really well throughout the night.
All right, Coach, as always, thanks for the time. 16 days now between games. Homecoming Texas State on November 2nd. Great chance for the guys to recover, get caught up on some academics, and prepare for the final 5 games of the season. Coming up next on Inside Louisiana Athletics, Dr. Tanisha Mallory and Olympian Hollis Conway discuss diversity and inclusion for Ragin Cajuns student athletes.
So this will be a 50-yard attempt. Kick is on its way, and the kick is good! Cajuns win! 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 A 50-yard field goal! And time expires! Holy cow! Can you believe it?
Great teachers change lives.
It only takes one.
Thank you, Coach Hill.
Thank you, Mr. Gentry.
Mrs. Hunter, you are the one who taught me perseverance, to always fight the good fight.
Thank you, Miss Ross. You're the one who believed in me.
Thank you, Miss Matthews. You're the one that pushed me to be better.
Dr. Lee Hersey has been a great, wonderful role model, mentor.
Thank you, teachers.
Thank you, teachers. Thank you. This one's for you.
Great teachers change lives.
It only takes one.
It only takes one.
The Learfield IMG College Directors Cup, the highly recognized mark of distinction in college athletics across all divisions, both men's and women's sports. Follow your favorite team's pursuit for excellence in this prestigious annual award through thedirectorscup.com, USA Today, or L Directors Cup on Twitter. Learfield IMG College Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics since 1993.
My name is Tanisha Mallory, and I'm the Executive Director of Strategic Initiatives and Chief Diversity Officer here at the University of Louisiana at Lafayette. And in the Office for Campus Diversity, we do a lot of work across the spectrum of the entire university with students, faculty, staff, and the senior administration of the university to really cultivate a diverse and inclusive campus community. We have a really diverse student body. Our student athletes make up a sizable portion of our student body and really represent the vast diversity that we celebrate here on campus.
Being a part of this university has been wonderful. Growing up, I had not seen any part of the world. I grew up in a very closed environment, and coming to this university and really meeting the diversity of students, diversity of faculty and staff, really opened me up to a world that I had never seen or imagined. I was very impressed with the resources, the opportunities to meet people from different places, to learn about different cultures, to integrate, helped me with my teammates, and it really helped me on a national level as I began to travel the world and go to different countries, meet different people, and understand different cultures. And ultimately, when I ended up at the Olympics, to see the whole world come together and understand the power of unity, the power of diversity, the power of inclusion. There was nothing like it. It greatly influenced my life, but as I look back, it really started when I stepped on this campus.
We focus a lot on engaging our student organizations on campus with education around diversity and inclusion issues, and talking about why it's important to go outside your comfort zone and learn from people who don't look like you and don't have the same experiences that you have, and really why diversity and inclusion makes us better. It makes us stronger, it makes us more competitive, it makes us more innovative and creative in problem solving, and it really makes us a better institution all around.
I'm really blown away now that I'm an employee here to see the progress that we've made with the number of resources that we have, the number of student organizations, the number of faculty and staff organizations that we provide opportunities to to learn from each other, to grow together, to be better, to produce better results, to make the world a better place, to really have the answers to all of the divisive issues that are facing our country today. I think the answer lies in what we're doing here, and so I'm very proud of that.
We just recently released our strategic plan for inclusive excellence, which is a 3-year roadmap for building on decades of success. We have a long tradition of inclusion that started in the 1950s when we first integrated the university, and we have come a long way in many decades of hard work to increase the opportunities to succeed for all of our students, especially those who are underrepresented and from marginalized backgrounds. So we have a really important role to play, and we really want to partner with our future student athletes and our current student athletes, as well as our alumni, to really build and create an even more inclusive place here at UL Lafayette.
Next on Inside Louisiana Athletics, I'm joined by Heather Mazetas-Fontenot to recap volleyball's road trip to Georgia.
We are a young conference, full of energy, passion, and pride. And we won't rest until we've made our mark. Our accomplishments have earned us a place among the top of the college football world. But we're just getting started. We've still got a lot of growing to do. And the future is for the young. Sunbelt is proud to be a part of 150 years of college football.
To perform, you need speed, skill, strength. With every muscle, every move, you push your body to reach its full potential. But sometimes you just can't push through the pain. That's when you know it's time to address it. So when injury puts you on the sidelines, trust us to get you back in the game. Lourdes Sports Care, the team behind your team.
If you're happy and you know it's Zydeco. If you're happy and you know it's Zydeco. If you're happy and you know it, then your feet will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it's Zydeco. If you're happy and you know it, mange. If you're happy and you know it, mange. If you're happy and you know it, I think I will help you show it. If you're happy and you know it, mange.
Welcome back to Inside Louisiana Athletics. Very happy to be joined by a very happy volleyball coach, Heather Mazetas-Fontenot. And Coach, 2-0 on the weekend. You start off Friday night at Georgia Southern, and really good start to this when you jump out to a 2-0 lead and take it from there to win it 3-1.
Yeah, you know, Georgia Southern, we actually started the first set with a 7-1 lead. Mm-hmm. One of the things we've been working on consistently for the last few weeks is getting our serving tougher and aces. And so I think we had 2 aces within the first 7 points. And on the weekend, we out-aced our opponent, we moved us from 11th to 8th, mm-hmm. which is a big win. And then the third set, our passing broke down a little bit, but Avery Bro came through just running our offense finally like it's set to be run and showing some maturity, which then, you know, one of the things I can explain to you is that, you know, when our offense is running, it opens up our outsides. And that's why, you know, Haley Wisnowski and Kelsey Bennett both had really good weekends, because when our middles and right sides are taking most of the heat from the block, it opens up them and then they can finish the point. And that's how our offense is designed.
Yeah, you mentioned you did lose the third set, but you came back to take the match in the fourth. Haley and Driana Abram really getting it done, but also getting a lot of help from their teammates.
True, and we played a couple. Elise Barranco started and played the entire match, local product, and did great. And we've got some fresh legs in there. And then Darby O'Grady came in and gave us a little bit of a punch offensively as well. But right now, this late in October, we need different people from the bench coming in, and we've got some road weary kids or some kids with bumps and bruises, and just trying to find some other kids to come in and just hold it steady. Whereas then at Georgia State, we were able to play Celeste Darling and Tia Jade Smith, and they came in and did a great job.
Yeah, Sunday morning in Atlanta to face the Panthers, and you look at the score and you say, oh, they swept them 3-0. Probably pretty easy, but it wasn't that at all. You had to grind out this one. First set, you're the ones who are down very late in the contest, but you made the plays to have that comeback win.
Well, and this is the thing that's been missing. If you look at all of our scores, we're losing 26-24, 25-23, and to flip this on this weekend to win that first set after being down, to win at 25-23 when it was tight. And what I loved is that the girls came together on the court and they're like, we're doing this now, we're doing this right now, and having that urgency. And then the second set won pretty easily, and then the third set, though, we got down, and I was like, no, this is going to be a copycat of Georgia Southern. We're going to lose this third set. And they were like, and to win 29-27 against a good opponent. Remember, Georgia State has beaten UT Arlington. They beat South Alabama. And so they have a lot of quality things going on. And to find it 29-27, man, super, super proud of my team.
Arkansas schools visiting historic Earl K. Long this weekend. Little Rock on Friday night. They're behind you in the West standings. Arkansas State is also coming to town. They're ahead of you in the West, but by a very slim margin. So really good chance, as we talked about last week, to keep kind of chipping away and moving up in the standings.
Again, right now, second place in the West is wide open, and this weekend is going to be a big, big weekend for us to just come and show who we are and what we've been learning all this time on the road, and somebody asked me if the monkey was off our back. I'm like, no, it's not off it might be off our back, but it's in our pocket right now. We're just kind of feeding him from the side, but we still have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, 8 matches left in the regular season, and you do have 5 of those at home. So a lot of great opportunities here down the stretch to kind of get on a roll.
Yeah, we are just hoping that our fans come out and support us big time for these. Our next 5 out of 6 are at home, and we need all the support we can get because the girls just feed off our crowd at Earl K.
All right, Coach. Well, best of luck to you. We'll recap all of the action again next week on Inside Louisiana Athletics. Coming up next on the show, soccer coach Lance Key.
The Car Hop Classic for just $2.99 is the perfect 1-2 punch of flavor and value. Time that! You need a trainer to help you eat the burger? Hey, stay out of this.
Don't get in my head, man. There's barely room for me in there.
Hurry in and try quarter-pound double cheeseburger or 6-inch Philly plus tots for $2.99.
Welcome back to Inside Louisiana Athletics. Time now to welcome into the show the head coach of the Ragin Cajun soccer team, Lance Key. Only one game on the schedule this weekend, a trip to Georgia State, and it was a rough one. Fall by a score of 2-0, and they jumped on you real early, actually, in the first few minutes of the game to get the first goal, followed it up with another goal in about 8 minutes later, and that was pretty much a done deal.
Yeah, so we we were in behind in the first 3 minutes with a really good chance to score. Minimal effort on the back post to make sure that a ball found the back of the net. And so we really squandered a pretty early opportunity. And then going from being in a position to maybe be up 1-0 within the first few minutes of a game on the road in conference, where it's really a highly important 3 points, we find ourselves down 2-0 10 minutes later. And that's the way the game goes. It's the way that the game ebbs and flows within its momentum. It's being on the road against a team who's in a bit of desperation. They know they have to get points. They'd come off of a recent loss to Georgia Southern, so we knew that they were going to have a mode of desperation in them. They hadn't scored a whole lot of goals, but we certainly helped them find their confidence. And over the course of 90 minutes, they really outplayed us. They deserved the win.
Yeah, some of the things that came from that game, uncharacteristic things that happened for your team. You hadn't allowed a first half goal in 13 matches, and you give up 2. You only managed 2 shots on goal the entire game, and then you had 16 fouls. So it didn't sound or read like it was something that we're used to seeing from your team.
Yeah, it was really disjointed. I think it was probably overall, from a holistic perspective, was probably one of our worst collective performances that we've played this year. Certainly, at least in a long time. From that first weekend, where we conceded a lot, and really were trying to find ourselves in that situation, and we hadn't played like that in quite some time. It was certainly disappointing, because it was a great exercise for us to go in on the road, away from the comfort of home, in a game where we have to win, which is exactly what conference tournament looks like, and we just didn't show up, and so certainly disappointing in that regard, and as you said, uncharacteristic performance, and some of the things that we allowed and some of the things that we weren't able to secure for ourselves were out of character and out of our identity.
You currently sit in 5th place in the Sun Belt Conference point standings. 2 matches to go, both this weekend and at home. Georgia Southern is the first one. They sit a point behind you, and then Troy comes in on Sunday, and they sit in 2nd place currently. So really a good opportunity for you to get some points and finish the regular season strong heading into the conference tournament.
So here's the deal. I mean, between, I want to say it's Texas State and Appalachian State, there's only about 5 points that separate on the table. And so there's only one team statistically that looks like they're eliminated at this point, which is ULM. Everyone else is very much in the mix. So Georgia Southern coming into town, they're in a position where they have to secure 3 points against us on Friday. We essentially have to secure 3 points against them. So you expect it to be very, very tightly contested. Both teams really having to go for it and having to go for a win. Really a draw is not going to put anyone in a safe position. And so I'm more concerned with Friday night. The only thing I want to mention about Sunday is Senior Day, to celebrate the careers of our 5 seniors and what they've contributed to our program. But because of where we are, because of how we played this past Friday, we're in a position where we can't think about anything outside of Georgia Southern Friday night, 7 p.m. Our pink game, CSC club night on Friday night as well. So really a big night for us.
Yeah, you mentioned Senior Day. We talked about Mackenzie Lee last week. You also have Victoria Mendez, Catherine Whitman, Kaylee Powell, and Francisca Reipel. Just talk about what those ladies have meant to you, in your first year here, and kind of, laying the foundation for years to come.
They've had to be integral in our transition, and anytime you have a group of young people who are having to encounter transitional times together, there's almost an element of trauma in that, because it's well outside of their comfort zone. They're having to respond in a different way to a different staff, and still at the same point be productive and continue to move forward in a very limited, tight window. So they've been very good for us this year. They've been fantastic both on and off the field. And I couldn't be more grateful for a senior class that received us, accepted us, and got behind us and really committed to the direction, the vision that we put in place, and have supported us all the way through, and I can't wait to celebrate them.
Both games on CST and ESPN+, but we'd love to see you out at the Ragin Cajuns track and soccer complex. That'll do it for this edition of Inside Louisiana Athletics. We'll see you at the games, everybody.